Have you ever really looked at the stuff you use every day and wondered about its secret story? Where did it come from? And maybe more importantly, where's it going to end up? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on that story, and it's all built around this really powerful idea called circular design. Honestly, it's a concept that could completely change how we make, well, just about everything.
Okay, so first things first, we have to start with a simple but kind of mind-blowing fact about the world we live in. Everything, and I mean absolutely everything, has a designer.
No, seriously, try it right now. Just glance around and pick the object that's closest to you. Could be anything. You got one? Okay, good.
Whether it's your phone, that backpack you carry, or even the water bottle on your desk, none of it just magically appeared. Every single one of those things started as an idea in someone's head. Somebody somewhere made choices about its shape, what it's made of, and how it's supposed to work. And this right here brings us to the most important question of all. When that person was designing your thing, what was the plan for its end of life? Was it built to last, to be repaired and have a long, useful journey? Or was it designed to be used for a little while and then tossed? That one decision at the very beginning changes absolutely everything. So how do we get out of this take, make, waste habit we've gotten into? Well, the answer is learning to think in a circle. It's a completely new way to look at design, and it's a mindset that pretty much anyone can get on board with. And here's the core of it. Circular design isn't about scrambling to figure out what to do with trash after we've already made it. Nope. It's about designing things so that waste never even gets created in the first place. It's about getting ahead of the problem, not just cleaning up the mess. So how does this actually work? Well, a circular designer is always asking a bunch of smart questions. Like, can this thing be taken apart easily? Or is it made from one simple material instead of a weird mix of stuff that's just destined for the landfill? These kinds of questions force you to think about the product's entire life story, not just the moment someone buys it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds a little theoretical, right? Like some fantasy for the future. But it's not. This way of thinking is already showing up in the real world, in products we can see and use right now. Let's take a look. This is such a great way to see the difference. Let's talk sneakers. In the old, linear model, you buy them, you wear them out, and then you toss the whole thing in the trash. End of story. But in a circular model, the shoe's designed so you can replace the parts that wear out. The sole gets worn down, you don't chuck the whole shoe, you just swap out the sole. Bam! The shoe's life gets way longer, and we make way less waste. And this goes so far beyond shoes. We're seeing modular furniture where you can replace one broken leg instead of buying a whole new table. Packaging that's actually designed to be sent back and refilled. And some really wild creative stuff like food containers literally made from mushrooms or algae that just biodegrade when you're done. The innovation is just incredible. And this is the part I really want you to take away. You don't need a fancy degree or a special title to be a designer. At its heart, designing is just the act of imagining solutions to problems, and that is something every single one of us can do. I mean, think about it. When you take an old t-shirt and figure out how to snip and tie it into a reusable tote bag, you're designing. When you plan a birthday gift that's an awesome experience instead of just more stuff to avoid waste, you're designing. We are all designers every time we start imagining better solutions with what we've got. All right, now I want to share the single most important number in this whole conversation. I call it the 80% secret, and once you hear it, you'll understand why focusing on design is just everything. So let me ask you a question. When do you think the most critical moment is for a product's environmental impact? Is it when it's being made in a factory? Is it when you're using it? Or is it when you finally throw it away? The answer? It's actually none of those. The most critical moment happens before the product even exists as a physical thing, and the number you need to remember is this one, 80%. This is honestly staggering. A full 80% of a product's total environmental footprint, from the raw materials it uses to the pollution it creates, is locked in right at the very beginning, during the design phase. This means that changing the design isn't just one option, it's the most powerful lever we have to change its impact on the planet, period. So knowing that, we can't just sit back and be passive consumers anymore, right? We have to start seeing ourselves as active participants. So consider this your official invitation to take everything we've just talked about and put it into practice. Here is your mission. Pick one thing from your daily life and redesign it using these circular ideas. What would a pencil case made entirely from recycled stuff look like? How could you dream up a system for water bottles at school that makes zero waste? You can even think about digital things, like how we turn in homework. And don't just think about how it looks. Think about its whole life. What's it made of? How can it be fixed if it breaks? What happens at the very, very end of its journey? Sketch it out. Doodle it. And you know what? Share that idea, because great designs deserve to be seen. Because every huge change in the world started with this small idea, a little sketch, and someone deciding to see the world in a new way. So the last question I'll leave you with is a simple one. What new solution will you design?